Welcome to episode 10 of. Currently it's called MFers. Who knows what it's going to be called? I don't like the way that it looks. I like the way that it sounds. I don't like the way that MFers
I like the way it looks.
You do? You looked at it?
Yeah.
Alright. So we're your hosts for this podcast. We talk about anything that revolves around our lives, mostly that has to do with agriculture. Gorv does mostly wine production and sells wine and does everything in regards to our winery, which is in about 150 local liquor stores in British Columbia. I do everything in regards to farming, marketing, and some events, etc. But mostly farming. Some management
Cheers.
we used to do, not so much anymore.
Cheers.
Cheers. So we're drinking a beer today. So if you guys are watching us on YouTube, you could probably see us here. I don't think that we're uploaded to YouTube, but we will be soon. Just like everything, we will be soon. I think my topic that I want to talk about here is scalability. And the reason why I think that's an important topic for us to cover is because to grow a big business, you have to become scalable.
Scalable.
Amazon-
What does scalable mean
Scalable means that you have the ability,
for the viewers?
your business is you're able to produce multiples of one item and sell to anybody anywhere and grow bigger. Your business can literally grow bigger. There's no limitations on how large your business literally get. It can be the size of the entire world. I'm sure that's not the Webster's definition, but it's my definition. What's yours?
Scalability means that you can accomplish your goals through other people or other factors, then multiplying them by X, 10X,
Definitely.
100X.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So people say, like, some people are like, oh, I'm really good at scaling a business. I'm very scalable. I've heard Gary Vee say that he's very scalable and he's really good at scaling a business. Which, like, in fact, he is. Obviously, he started with a company. Turn that damn ringer off completely, please. Thank
It's
you.
off.
He obviously jumped out of his dad's business with no assets and nothing on his nothing to help him along his way.
I love Gary Vee.
Of course, I listen to him all the time. I've listened to him more and more now recently because I need to get my high back.
It goes up and down, right? You
Literally,
go off. And you go
literally.
in.
I'm on him right now full time. The production that's gonna come out of my hands, it's gonna be amazing. Mount is the next 2 weeks and I'm on him. After that, I'll be off for the next
It's like a drug.
rest of the 50
It's
weeks
like
of
a
the year. Literally.
You're relapsing right now.
Yeah. So, anyways, but like he started his own media company, after he jumped out of his dad's wine business, and after I don't know how many years, but not very long, he's freaking making hundreds of millions a year, right? Okay, it's not to say that someone can't make hundreds of millions a year, and it's not common. Obviously, we've seen people in the news do such thing, like, created a company which is now just has an IPO of this, yada yada. But he's done it in a fashion where he's added on more staff and more employees in different areas of his business so he can grow his business and given it direction at the same time and kept it en route with that target that he had in mind. And that's difficult because, like, in any business, obviously some businesses are way more scalable than others. For example, our business, when you're looking at wine, it's something that you can produce more and more bottles of. When you're looking at strawberries, you can, yes, produce more and more strawberries as you grow, but it's more difficult to scale because then land is a thing. That's a limited resource that you need to scale that product, right? Another thing is weddings. That's also very difficult to scale, unless done creatively. Maybe other people disagree with me, and I think I do disagree with myself as well now, because I think that as a farmer at ALR, you're only limited to do 10 weddings a year. But what's stopping from someone to build a brand around weddings and then go lease other farms and do weddings on those farms and give the owner a cut, right?
Yeah,
There's ways to get around it. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry,
There's a guy from NAFTMA. He does his goal is to do a wedding a day. So sometimes he does 2 weddings a day
out of one venue.
at a one venue.
So that's crazy.
It's from the States.
That's crazy.
I forget the guy's name, but that's like, he's like, if I could do 1 wedding a day, that'd be my goal.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's pretty simple because I guess a bride.
All he does is charge for the venue. That's it.
Oh, that's all he does.
$4,000 for the venue.
So they do everything else.
Yeah.
Damn. But
Yeah.
he has to take down, clean up, deal with all the vendors.
I don't know how that works. But
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the
All
venue.
that he just said.
Yeah.
But so, do you think? Because I think that I always struggle with scalability, it's something that it's always in and around my face, and I think that's just how it is. In regards to business, you always struggle with how to creatively grow your business to get past obstacles that are in front of your face. So initially, some of the main obstacles that I've seen is like the unknown, right? The unknown and not knowing what's ahead of you, the risk factors that comes with growing strawberries. Because let's just use that as an example, right? I learned about Day Neutral strawberries from Tom. I planted those Day Neutral strawberries in 10 rows, and my goal was to obviously grow a large amount of strawberries to wholesale sell at an X amount to make my return, right? Then from 10 acres, we went to the next year, we planted an acre. We lost that entire acre because we planted it way too late. Learned as we went by, right? The way that we planted that plastic rows was by a machine that we made, and it was all just like handmade, did it yourself, learned along the ways, right? And so that was one of the biggest factors. Now the next factor is like after now we're at 10 acres, we are in X amount of stores, we sell X amount of berries, and we're doing very well in regards to our strawberry production and what's going on. But there's still more unknowns in regards to varieties, how the plant specifically works. Because before we were like, let's plant it, let's feed it well, make sure you take care of the pests, and whatever we get off of it, we'll be able to sell. But now it's like, how can we manipulate the flowering and for the strawberries to come on, for it to provide us berries when no one else has berries, so we can have an X amount of price attached to it where other people can't, and also so we can fill the void inside the market. And the second thing is, how can we distribute and grow our distribution channel of strawberries, because it's a product which is so fragile due to its shelf life. So those are the struggles that I deal with, but like that's what I always deal with in regards to a business, is how to grow it bigger and bigger and bigger, right? What do you think about that?
Your problems or my problems?
I don't know, my problems.
Everybody's problems.
Sure.
Same
yeah,
shit.
what problems do you have?
Oh, it's the same shit. Strawberries is difficult, dude. No one can do that. No one can do that the way you do it. And you're doing it in a way that no one else has done it before. Maybe. Right? Because you said you're filling a void that's not there. Obviously you're doing something different than other people are doing it. Right? And you said you messed up before. You lost an acre, which is normal. That's a problem. That's also opportunity to learn.
Everybody has L's, right?
Yeah. For me, scalability is difficult because you look at a certain situation, you think it's going to go one way, but it goes the other way. You don't know how to react until you do that situation.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Unknowns happen. Like, things are out of your control. Like, say I hire person X, right? You think, oh, person X is going to do a great job. 3 weeks later, they're like, oh, I got a different offer done. Or, like, I get, like maybe 15 job applications. I message everybody. 5 people reply. Out of those 5 people, 3 of them say that they got another opportunity. The 2 left, like they're either going to be good or they're not going to be good. But like you lose. Like it's...
Maybe you're just a shitty hirer.
It's just a learn... Maybe I am.
Yeah.
Maybe I am.
Maybe has you thought about that?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. How have you thought about combating that and getting better at it? Do more of it? You could.
How do I...
You could literally just do more of it and you learn about it.
How do I confirm that I'm a shitty hirer, though? Like, what, like...
I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
Why don't you look at statistics? Okay, you're trying to hire this many positions. How many times does an employee usually work out? I'm sure someone's done some sort of damn statistical analysis.
I read the managerial output book, right? In the book, it says, like, hiring is one of the highest risk things you can do.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, waste of time, waste of money.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what it is, but it's, like...
big time.
It's really difficult, not easy. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
But, like, there's a balance between how much you're going to pay someone and what they're expecting from them. And, like, especially when, like, you're hiring someone from a... Like, I'm trying to hire people in different cities that I don't see face-to-face all the time. It's like, how do you create that relationship so they care about the business as much as I do?
Incentive programs.
7 out of 10, right? Incentive programs, but they can only go a certain way. A certain point, right?
I don't know, dude. Hiring's unique. I think especially when you're a smaller business. I guess when you're a bigger business too. But when you're a smaller business and you're like growing and you have the ability to play around.
Scalability.
Yeah, it is. But if you're a smaller business and you have the ability to play around, you're able to put people into positions that you have thought about putting them into and trying and seeing how it works, but that comes through creativity.
Yeah.
Right? It comes to creativity. So you sit down in the interview, you can have the conversation.
Explain an example.
Someone that we just hired for, someone that used to work for a Honda Cormiers, okay?
Yeah.
Right? She used to do, so now I'm trying not to use words, so Jason doesn't have to bleep.
Employee
okay?
X.
Right? Employee, actually just call her her. Call her Sandy, okay? Sandy used to come and do all the makeup, right? Initially.
Yeah.
And her and I, great relationship. She did a great job. I never made it difficult for her. She'd always help out, and I knew, because she was young, there's only so much I could expect of her, but I knew she was talented and she had a willingness to learn, that I just wanted to keep her around. That's it, right? So I just you know, the whole Gary Vee honey empire or whatever it is? Same thing. I think I've always been doing that. It's been really nice to everybody and never been really rude. And I've always had expectations of them, but I've never really put people down too much, and I've really looked into their perspective and seen that they've done the best job that they can do, and hope that they've done it. You know what I mean? That's pretty much it. So what else can I expect? If I expect more, I have more expectations, and I'll judge myself, and I'll judge their person, and I'm just have a shitty life. So anyways, but if she was started out doing makeup. This was like 3 years ago. The Honda Cormiers.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
She did makeup again the following year. And that following year, she had makeup artists. Okay, so she had makeup artists working for her, and she trained them.
She was scaling herself.
Yes, she was scaling herself, because I was like, you need to help organize makeup artists and put in the position, because you know exactly what you need to do. Okay, Then I went to St. Louis with employee J. So going to St. Louis with employee J really opened up my mind, because I was like, damn, I just took an employee with me on a business trip that I usually go to. Our company literally just paid for their expenses, living expenses, everything, and our company's growing. Now, why am I not doing that with the other employees? The other employee that really stuck out to me was this person from before that did the makeup, right? Because I was like, damn, she should be going to the business trips and learning just like we're learning, because she's someone who has an interest in this. She loves it. She does a good job. She could literally grow with us, right? But then I came back and I was like, damn, okay, so haunted only happens one time a year, okay? It's for like those 2 months, and how am I supposed to keep on an employee for the rest of the year, so where they actually are there for the haunted time, you know what I mean? The haunted time might be why that person's so important, but I still need to keep that employee on during the time periods where they're not as important. And that's when I thought of this other employee. I talked to her because I knew that she was taking a GDD program, a graphic design development program, in photography, design, and art, and anything to do with digital content creation. I was like, dude, I didn't realize she was doing it, and I saw it on one of her Instagram posts that she just entered that program. I was like, no way, she must be into this stuff. So, and I just hired her for marketing.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's working here 10 to 15, maybe 20, 30 hours a week. In summertime, she's going to go more full-time. And that's then going to turn into haunted when she's super useful. She could literally have a full-time job here for the rest of her life. If the haunted grows, if marketing grows, if all of that grows. And then she could help train more people. But it just had to do with the creativity of putting that person in a position that I didn't know was going to work or was going to work. I had no clue. You gotta work hard to do those things.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the Heineken.
It's probably the Heineken. This ad. What is it called? Product placement?
Product place. We're drinking Heineken right now.
Drinking Heineken. Yeah, I don't know. You ever tried doing haunted like in the summertime? Ever thought about that?
Yeah. Dude, people do haunted all the time. Sometimes people do haunted on every Friday the 13th of the year. And I've thought about doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you know or not, but I was up today at 5:30 and right now it's 7. It's 8 o'clock at night and the job's still not done.
You know where I was at 4:30 this morning? Right here.
Doing what? Sleeping?
I was working.
Why?
I had to do the filtration. Laurent was coming.
Oh, that's crazy.
I walked outside and turned on the fan. The Mexicans were getting up.
That's lit.
Yeah, I'm ready to go to sleep. I don't know.
That's funny.
I don't know.
Yeah, but how are you gonna scale the wine though? You've been talking about hiring and putting people in the right position. But how are you
Okay,
gonna
so
scale the wine?
for instance, how I've scaled the wine so far is doing wine tastings. I used to do wine tastings every weekend, every Friday, Saturday, and then I was just myself. And then I started with one employee. The first time I did that, the employee did a shittiest job. So then I'm like doubting myself, like, is this scalable? Can the employee do a good job? This, that, right? And then another employee came by and they do a really good job. And I'm like, oh, this is gonna work, right? And the way I treated the first employee was different than I treated the second employee. Like the first employee, I kind of just trained them, like, and then they let them go. Whereas the second employee, I did the in-person, on-the-job training. It makes such a big difference. And then I was like, oh, I can possibly scale this. Then 1 year, and then I did like 2 people, and then I did 3 people, and now every weekend I'm doing like 4 or 5 people, 4 or 5 tastings. So I'm scaling that. Like every time, like every Friday, Saturday, we try to hit one city, and in that city we'll hit 5 liquor stores. So the odds that people are gonna try our wine in that city are so much higher. So that's kind of how I scaled that.
So, question for you:
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about having another employee go train that employee during wine tasting?
Yes, the thing
Okay,
was
so then have you ever incentivized that? Because what I'm thinking right now is if say Man Farms has openings in these positions, right?
yeah.
And so say if other people have had the ability to learn that training,
Mhm.
and they've gotten like a stamp or a certification or whatever, right? And they've gotten like that gold star underneath their name, then they are qualified to go train inside that position. So more positions you learn, more ability to go train other people, and once you train another employee in that position, you get like $200.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? $200 bonus.
It's all about performance
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, have you thought about training, like say someone who's really good at tastings, to go train other people?
Yeah, I have.
Then why haven't you done it?
No, I kind of have, kind of haven't. Like, for instance, employee R, right? They were doing really well in the tasting room, really enthusiastic, selling a lot of wine, right? Then I got employee R to train employee Y, and then employee Y went to do a tasting, and they did a good job.
So that's good.
So that's good,
Yeah.
right? But for me, it's like, how do I make sure employee R is doing a good job, or do I just like let the results speak? Like,
How do I what?
like sometimes I nitpick at certain things, especially for the wine, right? Like this is just me because I'm mental. It's like when like the employee R explains the wine, they use different things, like they say different things. The product will still sell, but like I'm trying to say like you should do it this way. So maybe like that's the problem that I have.
Yeah, that's a freaking problem. You can't get angry. You can't sweat the small things. As long as the job's getting done, what the hell's wrong with you?
I understand. I understand. I still let employee R to train employee Y, and they did a good job. So, I'm trying to do that more often. It's just incentivizing them to do it. That can be done through autonomy, like letting them do it themselves, giving that freedom. It can be done through money, which is usually, at the end of the day, it's not the best way to do it.
If you have money, is it?
Yeah, like in terms of incentivizing people, to a point it does well, but after a point it doesn't do that well anymore. I don't know like exactly how that works, but I saw some sort of YouTube video explain that, so yeah. That's it.
Cash is king, dude.
I know cash is king.
So why would money work?
It depends on the person, dude.
I think that wine tastings are boring.
They are boring.
So I would never go to one because I think it's boring.
Not necessarily. It depends how you look at it.
Yeah, it's perspective, that's for sure.
Like when I go to wine tasting, I try to go to different places every time because I want to know how the customers are like. Sometimes
that's
I go to the same place because I know I need to sell a lot of wine there, so the product moves. So
Yeah,
we
but
get
how
new
would you
orders.
change it?
Huh?
How would you change it?
How do you change what?
To wine tasting to make it more fun.
Music? I don't know.
This guy just said music. Holy shit.
Music. You do giveaways. You do like photo booths, like you know how like they have like at like music festivals they have like those things. I don't know music festivals, but they have those things you hold up, or like weddings they have like the photo shoot thing, like take a picture in this square, like oh you're at Man Farms wine tasting, something like that.
Yeah, but like, why don't any other companies do wine tasting?
A lot of companies do wine tastings.
Yeah, but Grey Monk or like Mission Hill, they don't do wine tastings.
Yeah, it's because a lot of those companies, they're in an area that are like, this all wineries, right?
So
Our product is fruit wine. It's all about education. Like education, because people don't know what fruit wine is. That's the thing. Especially with our product, it's a little bit overpriced right now. I think when we lower the price, we talked about that today, it'll make a big difference.
you know, you're a consumer, right?
Yeah.
Have you thought about where they are? Like what do they all do? Could you go to like a common place and do a massive wine tasting for 100 people? Do you know what I mean? Could you do that once a week? And then you do real in-depth wine tasting on all your fruit, and you could teach them all about the fruit wine. And maybe that you could do that at like at a university or somewhere like that, where all these, I don't know, females that are of 27, 28, 29, 35 years old are. And you do a massive wine tasting, you know what I mean?
That's gonna go through the wine club.
Huh?
That's gonna go through the wine club. Like that's scalability too. Wine club, like a lot of companies, like they just do wine club. Wine club is like you have to commit to 12 bottles per year, for instance, right? Then you get 10% off this, you get 15% off that, and then that's it. And you get invited to events, things like that. People love that shit. They just want to be part of a wine club. Anyways, getting back to tastings, why other people don't do tastings?
Yeah.
Usually tastings are expensive. Like usually the average taster gets paid $20 an hour. We're
Okay.
taking our employees that get paid minimum wage, giving them $1 per bottle to do tastings, and just because like they're working for you and they want to do a good job, they go ahead and do the job and they do it well. And they like wine.
What if you do $5 per bottle?
You're losing money.
Are you losing money though?
100%.
Why?
Because there's two factors. One thing that employee D taught me, quickly, is like when you're doing wine tastings, you're opening a bottle of wine
Yeah.
that could have been sold
Yeah.
to another customer. That's the opportunity cost.
What the hell are you talking about? The wine that you're serving, you're thinking that's an opportunity cost that could have been sold to someone else?
100%.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. The thing is that's not the objective. The objective at hand is to get a customer to try your wine.
Anyways,
and
I'm
become
just-
your wine.
That's just one angle.
I understand.
I
That's like
understand.
saying that's a strawberry that I go pick up and eat and throw it away, or I eat the whole strawberry myself. Could have been an opportunity cost that I could have sold.
It's like fraction. It's a fraction of the percent. Okay, why don't you do $5 a bottle? I've done $2 a bottle. I did that at Christmas time. That killed it.
Why? That was really good?
Yeah, people loved it. They're making $60-$70 on wine tastings.
You like that?
They liked it. It was just the hype to get them to do wine tastings at Christmas time, and it worked.
Then why don't you do that now?
Because it's $1 per bottle is enough. Like it's not gonna get them to sell 15 bottles versus 10. Right?
Didn't it for Christmas?
It was a factor of that, and it was a factor of the fact that it's Christmas and you're selling more wine. Mostly, it's a factor of getting them to actually do the wine tastings.
Sure.
Comes back to the idea that wine tastings are boring because they are boring.
Yeah, but the way that I think, what do you think the number one way to scale your wine is? How about that? That's a better question.
Number one way to scale the wine
Yeah.
is to have dedicated. Okay, there's two things, at least two. Have an agency. The agency represents you in all different stores. They take care of sales, do everything. They already have the connections. But the thing with an agency is they take a cut, and like the one agency I talk to, they take 15% off the revenue, which is a lot, right? But they have the connections. They deal with other clients. People know them. Like I talk to liquor stores, and they'd be like, "Oh, talk to this agency. They do a really good job." So like obviously they have credibility and they have good relationships with the clients. The other option is to hire your own staff in different cities to represent those cities at specific stores. In terms of liquor stores specifically. Another thing is to have our wine in restaurants because people are drinking them with their meals and food, which is not happening right now because it's just not.
I think that you need to go talk to the right people.
Who's the right people?
The people that make the purchasing decisions to put your wine in like large franchise stores. Look at all the large I think that you should be in BC liquor stores.
We're trying.
That's the number one thing.
Like,
I don't care what about
The
the
one
wine
thing-
tastings
Okay,
are
let-
cool, right?
Yeah,
But attention sells.
100%.
So having the wine in front of the customers is the number one thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but maybe it's half of the people in the world go in BC go to BC liquor stores,
Half.
private liquor stores, BC liquor stores. Who goes to? How many people go to BC liquor stores compared to private liquor stores?
Everyone.
This guy had the heat on the whole time.
It's not. It wasn't really on.
That's freaking hard.
It wasn't on. Okay, listen. We're fruit wine.
Yeah.
I can educate you here. You gotta listen. Listen to me. We are a fruit wine. There's a thing in BC called VQA, Varietal Quality Alliance.
Yeah.
This includes specific grapes.
Bunch of freaking crapshoot.
Yeah, this is the rules that they set out. Who knows how many years ago? At BC liquor stores, VQA wines have priority, but they also have favor. They're treated better. So what happens when you're a BC VQA winery or wine product and you sell to a BC liquor store, you sell for $10, right? They give you a $5 rebate because you're a VQA client.
Yeah, but who cares about that? Can't non-VQ people get inside there?
Yes,
So what's wrong with that?
because you're treated as a commercial winery when you go to. This is my assumption, but this is how you're treated. Basically, what happens
Wait, so why can't we have a regular wine in there?
because you're not making money.
Why not?
Your margins go from like $10 to $1.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that's true.
It is true.
There's non-VQA wine inside there, right?
There's non-VQA wine inside there, but they're from the States or they're from Europe, and they still get better treatment. Like, it's facts. It's facts. There's a whole fruit wine committee that I went to. Committee.
Yeah, I know they're all upset that they're not VQA treated.
Exactly. This is because of that.
So now what?
Well, we are in liquor depots. That's a big client that we're in. You can scale to everybody. Alberta,
How
right?
big are they?
They have over hundreds of stores.
Shut the hell up.
100 stores. We're in the database. We're in the Everything Wine stores. We're in that database. I talked to the head buyer. It took me like 2 years to get the wine in the stores. It's in the stores.
We're in Everything Wine?
Yeah.
So in McCollum we're there?
Yeah, we're there. The
How many
next
stores they have?
they have 5 stores, 6 stores now. We're in the one in Victoria. We're in the one in Surrey, Langley, Abbotsford. Now the problem is how do you get the product sold in that store? The product.
We're not in every single one. You said there's hundreds.
Yes, but we're in the system for every single one. I can call the store up, be like, "Oh, do you want a product?" Be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll take it." No,
Why don't you do that?
I do.
Why don't you do it for all of them?
I do.
You said there's hundreds.
In BC, I'm probably in like 80%.
So what about the ones in...
I got into a store in Prince George. They literally contacted me and got the product in Prince George.
Is that Alberta?
Prince George is in BC.
Oh shit, man. Yeah, what about the ones in Alberta and stuff?
Alberta's a whole different animal.
Listen, I don't care. I don't
Me
care
and
about
Dro-
Alberta's animal.
Me
I
and
just
Dro
wanna
figured
know-
it out.
Okay, that's great. So you're figuring that out. That's excellent.
Yes.
How about like Ontario and all that? They're all different.
You're making me anxious, man.
Why?
Ontario's whole is okay. If Alberta was an animal, Ontario's Godzilla.
Drove could sit right here and be like, Drove, until our wine is not in every single possible location possible, you're dropping it down.
But listen, that's the beginning.
Every
You're not listening. to
every
me.
country you get into, right?
You get $100,000.
No, that's expensive. Every country you get into is $1,000. Every state you get into is $500, and every new city you get into is $100.
Okay, man.
That's pretty good.
Listen.
Every new store you get into is not $10.
You don't know what you're talking. Look, sure, you know what you're talking about, but that's only half the equation.
That's all. That's it.
No, it's not. That's it. Why do we do wine tastings? Go back to that.
Why don't we, or why do we?
Why do we?
I don't understand, because you're educating the consumer what it is.
But the product is selling because you're doing wine tastings.
Of course.
So that means the more stores you're in, the more wine tastings you have to do.
Not you have to, or you should do.
You have to. You're a brand new product going to a brand new place.
Now what?
Now you're in Victoria. You need a rep in Victoria. You're in Nanaimo. You need a rep in Nanaimo. You're in Kelowna. You need a rep in Kelowna. You're in Alberta. You need a team in Alberta.
So why are we selling online then? That way you don't need to do liquor store.
we do. We need to. We need to do.
Is Drove working on it?
Well, we talked to Delana.
Yeah, didn't she do all that?
She did
herself?
product shots, but she did product shots on a white background. She just does translucent product shots. Then we're debating whether the fact that we should get a one-man Farms Estate Winery website, or should just use the website that we have.
You use the same. You get me the damn stuff. I put it online. Stop debating. You just do. And you don't need a Man Farm State Winery a website. Not yet. There's already traffic to the one right now. People can go to the other one. And I can
Okay.
make it top priority.
Okay.
Yeah, then that's it. I've already debated this many times. Before and back.
This is like you talking about the website. This is me talking about winery.
No, I understand. Look at
Okay.
Haunted, right?
Yeah.
It's...
You sold a lot of tickets online. Everything was sold online.
Exactly. I'm
Yeah.
just saying, look how large a value it is. Just
Yeah.
that one ticket.
Yeah.
Compared to the rest of the website.
Yeah.
It's still did fine on its own on that website.
100%.
So that's fine.
So we did product shots.
Only thing the
Me-
website is good for that Jeff Bezos says is it's a buy now button.
It's true.
That's it. We'll do it.
Anyways, me and Drove went to like one of the first trips he had. We went to the website. The winery page was ass. So it said,
Perspective.
no, it's not perspective. Listen to me. It's the whole layout.
Yeah, but that wasn't really.
The first thing was it had berries, and it said, "Oh, look at our wine." The second thing it says where to buy the wine. The third thing is, "Oh, these are the accomplishments of the wine,"
Yeah.
and the last thing was like nothing. But there's nothing there with products. We're talking website. I've been to a bunch of other wineries' websites that look amazing. Like they're specific on the winery. Obviously,
Yeah.
we can't accomplish that, but like our website page needs to be better.
No, it can have its own website too, dude. It just we need to start somewhere.
We need proof of
It
concept.
just exactly just need to start. It's more. Oh, maybe we should do like this. Let's do that. All of a sudden, now you have another week,
As
6 weeks
soon-
or sure or.
As soon as we sell one bottle online, I'm jumping for joy. Like
We
that's
Trust me, we can.
that's all I want to sell.
Trust me, we can.
One
But
bo-
you figure out distribution. I want the wine to get delivered to someone's house in Vancouver without any shipping costs. One bottle. Do it. Figure that out, you're living large.
in Vancouver.
Can you imagine? Amazon Prime. 0 shipping costs on a $5 item. That's insane. People love Prime.
You need volunteers. I'm serious.
I don't know.
How do you do that? You need to be so big that the shipping company needs you. That's where you need to be. That's why Amazon works. Like I have a distributor, is District Transport, and they ship out wine for cheaper
Eat the
than.
cost.
Huh?
Just eat the cost.
Yes, eat the cost. You can do that 100%.
How much does it cost to ship one bottle of wine?
To Vancouver? Depending who you use, but it could cost anywhere between $5 and $25.
Can't you have a local spot in Vancouver where you store your wine and you can do skip the dishes? And you can just market it only if you skip the dishes from those specific time periods because people do skip the dishes for wine all the time anyways. Yeah, buddy, this is about being creative.
I understand.
It is about being creative. I'm the creative director on here.
I just want to sell a bottle on the website. After that, we figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Now we're getting too deep.
No, it's
I don't
not.
wanna
It's about
reverse-
scalable.
I don't
It's about
want.
being scalable.
I don't want to reverse engineer it right now.
It's all about being. Why not? That's all it is.
I want proof of concept. Sell on the website, then we'll figure out the rest.
Well, that's what we're talking about right now. Selling on the website. You drunk?
No, but like,
he just gave one of these wobbly heads. You're the drunken pig that I posted on Facebook. Did you see it? It got like
No,
400 shares.
no,
It got like 400 shares.
really.
Yeah, it was an article of a drunken
Why don't you
pig.
post more pigs?
Huh?
Why don't you post more pigs?
Post what?
Post more pigs.
Post more pigs? It was just a funny article. It was like the pig stole 18 beer cans and campers and went and slept on someone's head or something like that. I
That's
don't know.
good.
It was something funny.
That's good. Anyways, I want to sell wine online.
Yeah, lit.
I want to sell wine at superstores. Our wine is not at superstores yet. I know there's one winery that said that if you sell your wine at superstores, they sell a lot of wine, but you have to pay for the database for them to sell your wine there. And that database is expensive, but then once we get it, you sell a lot of wine.
Yeah, but who has Save On Foods has wine or who?
The superstore has wine. They're okay.
Does Save On Foods has wine or the Safeway?
Both.
Save On Foods has
No,
wine.
Save On Foods and Safeway and Superstore, they all have wine.
All right, thanks guys for joining our episode 10. I was your host Amir.
And Gorif,
Talk to you guys in episode 11.
11.
Yeah.